Podcast. This is episode 49. We are one episode away from the big 5-0. I am joined by my best boy, Maddox. What's up, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? I'm
I'm
not
doing
I'm not sweaty today.
You're not sweaty, bro. Oh man, you're not sweaty. And then real quick, I want to talk to both of you. Let me introduce our boy, the legend. G Miners is with us tonight. What's up, brother?
What's good? Thanks for having me back.
It's good to see you.
Yeah.
We've
I
all
forget we've
met
had
each
you
other.
multiple times now.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
had you on.
man.
Yeah, we've had you on
There's
2
some sexual stuff
podcasts.
going on down in
Had you on
Florida, and
Yeah, and
That's
6
right.
fronts. 6 fronts, Florida, and then now.
We love that.
All of them. But anyways, before we get into this, what have you boys been up to this week?
G, go ahead.
this week, new Destiny season launched last week, so this week's just been grinding videos out, grinding out the new dungeon, things like that, and then it's also been what's it called? It's December, so it's like Christmas break, so it's a good thing. A lot of sponsored videos coming in. So this weekend I was working on those, getting them ready, prep for videos. My buddy asked me to move a pool table. Should have definitely said no. And this next week I'm going skiing though, so it'll be fun.
Heck yeah.
Hey, I have some advice about skiing. Don't fucking do it, okay?
I'm good at skiing,
You should
Maddox.
go snowboarding.
Yeah.
No, I hope you enjoy it. Where have you've gone skiing before, it sounds like?
Yeah. I usually go a good bit. We're going up to Mount Snow in Vermont. So we got the
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of Epic Passes, but it's like a worldwide like Vail owned pass that gives you a lot of access to a bunch of different mountains, almost like a season
Cool.
pass to a bunch of mountains. So yeah.
That's
Oh
awesome,
yeah.
dude. You're
Oh
like,
yeah. I actually I went out of town this weekend and
bro, you
just
went to you went to There's Been a Murder.
what?
If you'd ever Savannah,
Is that
Georgia.
the Knives Out?
Have you never watched
I have
The
no clue what you're
Office?
saying. No, I have not.
Bro,
I was
there's
so
something wrong with
confused
you.
what you just said.
I don't know how
What'd
we
you
are
s- yeah.
friends. You don't have you Never mind. Just keep going with your stupid
Oh
story.
yes, I went to
Did you see?
Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
My wife and her friend that she works with worked a wedding, so they like worked for like one Saturday morning, and her friend's husband, which I'm friends with as well too, just through an association. We went there and just kind of made a whole weekend out of it. So we got there Friday night, hung out all weekend, walked around, bought a bunch of stuff, bought a bunch of food. Got a little intoxicated, watched Florida State, watched some football. I got my This is one of my early Christmas presents since we were watching the game. Little retro Falcon sweater, so we love to see
That's
it.
cool. Where's that from? Abercrombie?
Yeah, it's their new line. Yeah,
Dude,
I got the T-shirt as well too.
I love Abercrombie, bro. They got the coolest clothes, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
even
soft
kidding.
as a motherfucker too. It's
And it'll
so
stay that
nice.
way forever. I have some shirts from there that I actually asked for like 50 Abercrombie shirts for Christmas. But they're so soft and they stay
Yeah,
soft and they stay
nice.
nice.
I do like it. I do like it. It was
That's
a good
sick,
gift.
dude. Well, congrats on having fun this weekend.
Yep.
What have I done? Dude, I've just been working. I'm wedding season's over, but I'm just like trying to get as much done before the end of the year. Got end of the year projects. Like a bunch of companies like want to spend the rest of their budgets on stuff, so they always hit me up like, "Yo, I got an idea. Can we film a video?" So I filmed a music video today. Uh and just been hanging out with my kid. He's a cutie. I'm trying to think if we actually did anything fun this weekend. I don't think. Oh wait, I did something super fun this weekend. I'm a big Columbus Crew fan, soccer, and
Oh, that's right. I saw
we
you
were
were
in the
posting
Eastern
pictures.
Conference Finals against our rival. So whenever you drive to Cincinnati, Ohio, I'm in Columbus, and you drive south to Cincinnati, there's a sign that says "Hell is real." It's just been there my whole life. Like you're on your way. It's just random sign. It just says "Hell is real," and everybody always sees it. It just means you're going to Cincinnati. So when they play FC Cincinnati, it's called the "Hell is real" game because you're going to Columbus. You're going, and it was the Eastern Conference Final. If we won, we go to the MLS Cup Finals, which is this weekend. But I went in Cincinnati. We were down 2-0 and came back at the end of the game and won 3-2. It was
Oh wow.
freaking
That's
nuts.
hype.
We were losing our minds, bro. There's like
Damn.
10 Crew fans that we were all next to each other, and we were just so obnoxious, and everyone was so annoyed by us, but it was so fun.
That's fun as hell.
And as of this recording right now, we're live. It's December 4th, and the GTA 6 trailer
It did.
got leaked. So Rockstar just went ahead and posted it early. and it like genuinely blew
It
my mind when I watched
looks
it.
a
like
lot.
that's just a movie. Like,
How do they do
Yeah.
that every time? Like, how does
and it's been
Rockstar?
10 years.
I know,
They've
but
had
like
10 years to work on it.
They've had time to work on it. Yeah,
I've
that's
been
fair.
yeah, but I've been chilling here thinking lately, like, how can games get much better? Like, we've have like even Red Dead is like, in my opinion, some of the best graphics you'll ever see. And then they put a video out like that, and it's like, is this even possible to run on something? It like looks so
Oh, I
stinking
guarantee it's only
crazy.
gonna be top tier shit. Like, it's gonna be tough to run that shit on anything that's not,
Well, it's only
new.
coming out on PS5 and Xbox Series X to
Right,
start,
exactly. Yeah.
and then
So
it'll
they'll be able to run it 60 FPS.
but then it'll probably come out on PC, I'd assume 6 months later like they usually do. I don't
Interesting.
know.
Okay.
It's tough to tell if it'll even come out in 2025. That's what it says now,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
no one I don't know. I just saw it, like, before we got on here, and I watched it, like, 50 times and I was, like, pausing it and, like, zooming in on stuff, like,
I
"What's
saw
going
a few
on?"
of the screenshots. That looks pretty cool.
It's gonna be crazy. Like, a lot of the stuff's like, not a lot of stuff's leaked, but there was, like, this crazy Rockstar leak at the beginning of the year, and that's never happened before. Like, Rockstar's usually never getting anything leaked, and it showed some gameplay, but it's, like, super early beta gameplay, so it's,
Mm.
like, looks like GTA 4 5 or whatever,
I like
but
the main character. I guess assuming those are the main characters that they showed. Like,
it's
those are
supposed to be
Too.
like the
Yeah.
pretty neat.
it's supposed to be like the Clyde and whatever, I don't know what the saying is.
Oh, Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah,
That
Bonnie and Clyde kinda deal, like, they're gonna rob
okay.
banks together and rob like, I
That'll
don't
be
know.
unique.
Yeah, so, anyways, let's get into what we actually wanna talk about here on this podcast, Destiny, the video game. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight because, number
Yeah.
1, a new season came out. Number 2,
As
we haven't played it yet, but everyone else in the Destiny community is saying that this new dungeon is probably the best dungeon that Bungie's ever put out, which I'm probably gonna agree once we play because it looks cool, like the so we're gonna talk about that. But first, G, let's talk about you for a second. Since you were on our old podcast and said this stuff, now you have to say it on our new podcast. But I just want to know a little bit about you real quick. Stuff that people might not know. And I'm sure people know this, but not our audience. So tell us how you guys like how you not you guys, are you two people? I'm just kidding. Are you tell me about how you started? Like why are you doing this full time, by the way? Is
Yeah. I'm full time right now.
how tell me the journey shortly on how you got here. Like how the heck are you doing this?
I guess I built a PC in like 2019. I had my like first ever like full time internship, so made money from that. I transferred schools, and then something happened with credits, so I had basically a really slow year, and I started streaming just to kind of get into the world. And I pretty quickly learned that just streaming, pressing go on live wasn't really going to help you get anywhere. And it wasn't ever really my goal to do this for a career, but it was just something like when I'm intrigued in something, I like to learn as much about it, push it as far as I can. So started doing YouTube, and then that basically started snowballing into learning how to edit better, learning how to make thumbnails, stuff like that. And then I think eventually just one season, it was my it was my senior year of college. I just really took every day I had off and all this extra spare time and just started making videos and video after video and just kind of snowballed. So by the time I graduated, I was at like a decent enough size. I was like, instead of starting a career doing, because I studied engineering, and instead of diving into that career right away, I was like, let me lean into the content. And so, yeah,
Here you are doing it. So you
pretty
went
simple.
so is it how many years have you been doing this?
I think I started in 2019 was like when I built my
Yeah.
PC, but like when did I graduate? 2022.
Was that
Yeah.
college? I'm assuming?
Yeah, college.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, college. I think I graduated the year of 2022, so like 2021 after basically COVID ended was like the year I was like actually posting consistently, getting good, trying to
Yeah.
take it more serious.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And you're loving it?
Yeah, it's fun.
What
It's one of those things. There's definitely ups and downs to it, just like any job. But it was one of those things where working certain internships and other jobs, I knew, at least for me, just a regular 9 to 5, it would be fine. You have your free time after you clock out, and works behind you for the day. But it's also one of those things where a lot of your life can be dictated by other people. So I really like the aspect of just, I can wake up when I want, work when I want. Sometimes you gotta work weekends, grind a little bit harder, but it is what it is.
did And then, have you been playing Destiny since the beginning, or was 2019 when you started Destiny?
That's when I started on PC. I've always been like in and out of Destiny. I've been like that casual, like it's
Hmm.
slow. I'm dipping. Let me play other games with my friends. And then yeah, 2019, I really started just. It was kind of like it was the game I knew the most about. So when I was streaming, trying to stay consistent, making content, it made the most sense. And then really through making content, I started getting better at the game. So
That's awesome, dude. Well, I think your content is top tier. I also like playing with you. You and your friends are fun to
Absolutely.
play games
yeah,
with. I
thank you.
haven't got to play with you guys in a while, but whenever
It's been a
it was
minute.
last season we started playing together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
After GCX, we did a bunch of Crota runs together. I feel like for a while there, and then I'm washed, so I am not good to play with these guys, but I love playing with them.
Dude, whenever I try and because we did the
We
day
try to
one, we
do.
tried to get the
We
the
try to.
second
Yeah,
clear or
we try to do
whatever.
a little
Oh
content.
yeah, that's what we did. I
Yeah.
It was awful.
That was
Whenever I try and
fun.
play and help people out, like as much as I know about PvE, I just start playing like a bot, and it sucks because people are like, "Oh, help me do this," and I'm like, "I'm not your guy, but we can give it a run."
We had that. I feel like for
Yeah, we were
like,
close.
I mean, for me and Maddox just coming in randomly, it was like, oh
We did
sure,
good
yeah,
though. We did good. I mean, we had a death counter,
Yeah.
and we were obviously not at the bottom, or we weren't at the
Okay.
yeah.
bottom.
I'm gonna be 31 next week,
Uh-uh.
and I held my, you
That's
know what I
fair.
mean. I'm a wise
That's fair.
Destiny player. Okay. All right, let's get into this. This season just came out. What's it called? Season of the Wish.
Season of the Wish. Yes, it is
Wish,
Okay.
yeah.
all based around the 15th wish was finally been discovered. And we saw that cutscene from the last season where they found it on, Savathun's wings and stuff like that. And all these different little cutscenes. And now we have the Riven, the spirit of Riven, I believe is what they're called now, where we have our little NPC that we get to talk to and do our quests and stuff through. So, G, you got to play it the most out of all of us. Me and Luke have had, unfortunately, just limited time this week to kind of hop into it. So, kind of give us your first impressions on everything that's happened just in this first, story wise, content wise, and just your overall thoughts.
Yeah. I'd say story wise, I'm somebody who's not really into lore, but I know since I've played all D1, and you always had like the exotics, like what's it called? Skull of Dire Ahamkara, Young
Hmm.
Ahamkara's Spine. So I always knew about like those space dragons and the lore. So I find it a lot more interesting, even as somebody who's not really into lore. Plus, like it's tied into Last Wish. I think most people know and really like the Last Wish Dreaming City aesthetic. So from a story perspective, I'm actually more invested than I've ever been
Yeah.
in other stories. And then from a seasonal content level, usually like the week to week stuff isn't super fun, but the activity they introduced, I think, was super close to being a really big hit. I'm hoping they change stuff, and they've already said each week things are going to be different, which is a really good um first thing to see them say or respond or whatever. Um but basically you go into this activity, it's called Coil, and you do like you clear some ads, you collect some materials to up your score, and then eventually you hit a boss. And then once you do all the ads, the boss, you cycle through everything, you go back to the start. You can buy some upgrades to make the next run easier. And then as soon as you start up round two, everything's more difficult. And then you can go and keep going, keep going. My downside, and the one thing I want them to fix, is if you could do that infinitely, I think it would be the best seasonal activity they've ever made. So I think it's really close to being really, really good. There's also a ton of loot that you get towards the end of the activity. The only downside is I don't know if the loot's all that great this season. So
Yeah.
there's gives and takes, but I think it's one of the better seasonal activities we've gotten for a while.
Okay. Well, you said it's not infinite. What
Yeah.
would you do to make it so it goes? I unfortunately I hate that we
Yeah,
haven't
you're
had a
good.
chance to play it because me and Luke have been busy this
I
week.
literally
But
unlocked it, and then I didn't
I
Okay.
know,
because
I
I
know.
did all the new season stuff so far, not even on my PC. I did all of it on my ROG Ally. So I just
Oh my
did all the
god.
new
Okay.
season stuff on the couch.
Okay.
I didn't even have my weapons.
I've watched my buddies play it and like seeing like their initial reactions and stuff like that. I kind of have a gist of what it is,
Okay.
but I didn't know there was like rounds and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But
Hmm.
it kind of reminded me of like how Escalation Protocol used to be. Like you start off on the easier rounds, you get to the boss, so and so and so. But when you get to that one final boss, you can go back and then continue on infinitely. You can kill that boss as much as you want. You just once you beat it, you go back to level 6. complete level 6, go back to level 7, complete the boss. Is that kind of kind of where you're getting at when it comes to
Yeah,
Infinite?
it's kind of more. I think the better term, like a good term, is like It's either roguelite or roguelike,
Yeah,
where as you progress, you're getting upgrades. But it's basically the same cycle over and over again, just different bosses at the end. There's some cool traps in it and stuff like that. So it's a bit different than like EP, but you can't just keep going back one and then cycling it and stuff like that.
yeah.
Once you get to the end, it's super hard. It's super enjoyable. A lot of people who like difficult content enjoy it, but we just like I think everybody just wishes you could just keep going until you just failed, Instead
Ah,
it kicks you
okay.
out.
Until
It
it
kicks
was
you out
too
after.
damn hard to even
Yeah.
complete. Okay, I see what you
Yeah.
mean. Damn, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, like, imagine like someone's like, "Oh yeah, we finally beat level 7," or like
Yeah,
if there was
yeah.
like level like 10, like level 10, you're like 40 under or something like that. Like no matter what,
It
that'd
would
be
make
sick.
good content for a season 2 cuz like there would just be guides for like, hey, this is our team comp. This is how we finally beat tier 9. Now the community's on to tier 10, and just
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, and
But
what's cool is like you have the tier 1 for casual players to play and kind of get you can LFG for it. It's not that difficult. You can get your loot. It's all accessible to everybody, but there's also a harder difficulty to it as well too. That would be sick. Call up Bungie. Let them know.
I tweeted it. That was like the first tweet I sent out like the first day. I was like
I
this
saw
activity's dope.
where you mentioned
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
So you were talking about the loot. So what loot do you like? What loot have you gotten that you've enjoyed so far? What leaves you kind of more
Yeah, I've
kind
heard
of
some
hungry for
stuff
something?
about. I've heard some not good stuff about loot this season.
Because a lot of the Dreaming City weapons have been reprised. Is that right?
Dreaming City. So not Dreaming City. It was the. You guys remember the season of Undying? The
Yeah,
Vex. I
yeah,
think it was
yeah.
Vex
The
Offensive. Those weapons that are all green and grassy.
Right, right, right.
You
That
remember
like
those?
yeah.
Those are back along with a set of new weapons. Actually, for the season, like the slug shotgun is pretty good. The fusion for the new season, which is like these are all the brand new ones. That's pretty good. There's a new stasis trace rifle, which is legendary. So it's the first time we've ever had a trace rifle in that slot.
Mm,
That I don't think the rolls are quite as good, which kind of sucks. But it's at least you have that option now. And then there's also a linear fusion rifle, which has some good rolls. The other ones are like a bow and then I think a pulse. And then all the season of Undying weapons are back. So some of them are decent too. Just nothing that like really screams this is meta, you know.
yeah. Nothing that's really worth
That's what I
chasing if you
want.
already have
I
something.
Yeah.
want there to be. I want them to put a game-breaking weapon inside that pool every season, so that it gives you
Yeah.
something to want to do for. Especially now
Yeah.
that we have 7 months until we get anything else.
That's right. That's right.
That's
So
another thing we can talk about tonight too at some point
oh
because
yeah, for sure.
we
For
did
sure.
not talk
And
about that last episode. We didn't
we
know
have
if the leak wasn't official last episode.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We have some thoughts. We're gonna do some comparisons later, coming up here as well too, where we can talk about because I almost want to compare this to Season of Arrivals because that's the only other season that we've had where it's been
Yeah, real
6
long.
months in advance. So before we got anything new, but take us through kind of your first impression on the dungeons. We got a new dungeon that's kind of people have been like comparing it to like a D&D, a castle, like dungeon. It's an actual dungeon,
It's a dungeon. Yeah.
when it comes to the aesthetic as well too. So what were your thoughts on running through it for the first time with your friends and because there's a unique style around it where there's 3 bosses now compared to 2 bosses in a jumping puzzle or something in that regard. So what were your thoughts on that?
I like the dungeon. I thought it was solid. I saw some people saying it was the best one ever released or other thing. Nothing jumped
I saw
out
that
to me
too.
as like, yeah, yeah. A lot of people had that take or said it was like the second best one. Nothing made it like insane for me, but I usually pay attention to leaks, and I saw in a leak Discord that there was supposed to be 3 bosses, and I was like, there's no way they're doing 3 bosses. They did 3 bosses. The first one's kind of squishy, but it's just a unique dungeon. It's a bit different, and I like when they do something different than the standard stuff. So it was very fun to run through. I think all the bosses are unique enough. They offer pretty unique mechanics at each encounter while also having a bit of the same ones so that people can still follow along with what's happening. The final boss is really cool too. You do damage. It's kind of like burst DPS. Then you move up and to like the right. So you're like rotating, spiraling around as you move up. So that damage is pretty cool. And yeah, I thought it was a solid dungeon.
Okay.
I think it looks
Yeah.
cool for what I've seen, just because I love the like wintry or like anything that's on Earth. I always get excited
Yeah.
about. And I'm assuming is it near like the Iron Banner temple? Is that like the lore
Yeah.
behind it? Okay.
Yeah. I think
I
it's
thought
like,
so. Okay.
yeah, something like that. It's like, what was that even called? Um, like the
Oh
Rise of
God.
Iron, Felwinter's Peak
Felwinter's
or something.
Peak is what it's
Felwinter's
called.
Yeah,
Peak.
Felwinter's Peak. That's right.
yeah. So it's something like that. Probably the same mountain range. I don't know,
It
but yeah.
does
So
look
it's all like
similar to that
Castle Lake.
Vostok,
Yeah.
aesthetic where you're out in the mountains and it's snowing and stuff like that. So, well, okay, so you're saying a lot of good things about our dungeon. And what is there something that you don't like about it, or something that you think it can improve on? Also with the coil as well too. Kind of
Oh,
backtrack a
true.
little bit here as well too.
Yeah.
Like you did mention that coil, isn't infinite. What are some other things that it did well, that it did good and did bad in your sense? Start with
Uh
coil.
Oh, Star Wars Coil. Okay, so Coil. Well, I mean, I guess I already. So the good thing is like the scaling. I think the scaling is a lot of people had the same reaction. So anytime there's good difficulty scaling that you have control over, and like checkpoints, for example, so you can do it and keep rotating around, getting loot here, like piece by piece, and then dip out when it gets too hard. So I think that's really good. Like I said, it going longer would be a lot better. Just for people that really want to push that difficulty to the limits and stuff. And then another good thing is the amount of loot you get at the end of Coil.
Yeah.
Within the dungeon, that's the downside. I think the loot table in the dungeon is terrible. There's like a new special sidearm that shoots like rockets or tracking rounds or something. It's
Mhm.
cool. I don't know if it'll be meta. And then the rest of the weapons just don't look.
Yeah, I saw there was like a bow, a bolt
y-
caster, and
Yeah.
then what was it?
There's a sniper,
A
I think.
sniper? Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. I just feel
I'm not,
like
yeah,
I
I'm
feel
not
like with
impressed.
I feel like with this is something that's always pissed me off with Bungie as well too, because like they bring these like spectacles into the game, a dungeon, a raid, and it just feels like the loot pool is lacking.
You
Like it
think they're
might have
running
some
out of
good
ideas
things,
or
but
something?
it might have some good
Yeah.
things, but god damn it, like it's lacking like a lot. That's 4 weapons, and there's how many weapon slots in this game now? And they bring 4 to a dungeon?
But I feel like this happens every season. It's just
It
a
happens
bunch of
every
it's like
time. There's
a bunch
stuff
of
missing from VOG, all that stuff.
I think
Yeah.
it's always like these days they've lost, like maybe they're just saving it for another time, but like all seasonal content that I ever have played, I don't feel like I've been like, wow, cool, these are cool new weapons. I just use the crap
Yeah.
that I already used that was already good.
Yeah.
Unless there's
Yeah. I
like
wish they tried to
one
wow
thing.
us.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
want you to just blow our minds with this stuff. It's a looter shooter. We're supposed to be excited about the loot, and it's starting to get kind of like we get excited about the activity, but then because I saw a lot of content creators online talking about how they loved all the stuff that they're doing this season. There's just not very good loot that goes with it.
Yeah.
Now I don't to be honest, I don't care as much about loot now because it's like a weird thing. So it's been so long that we've been getting loot and loot and loot. At a certain point, it's kind of like, okay, I got
You
loot.
have your
I
staples.
want
You have
like
your
I'm cool with just getting cosmetics at this point, bro. Just give me something crazy. Like, let me do the dungeon and get like some crazy glow or something. But
yeah.
I don't know. I'm with you though, bro. I feel like they always do. They're always just like slightly missing. Like you put out
Yeah.
this sick dungeon and then you don't do something crazy with the weapons. That's like mind blowing. Come on.
I will say though, the exotic,
I was
so
gonna
something
ask you
that's
that
never,
next.
yeah, so the exotic, so something that's never been possible to my knowledge is getting Devour on other subclasses because Devour's super strong, so it's usually limited to Void. The sidearm looks like you can get, I don't have it, I haven't seen a video or tested it, but it looks like it just gives you Devour and each shot you shoot like has the potential to weaken as well. Um, Based on its like exotic perks. So assuming you can get
And is
like
this
Devour on
is a
Solar.
sidearm?
Yeah, this is a
A
sidearm, which
sidearm?
is
Okay.
also special ammo. So
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. A
Interesting.
couple special sidearms coming in. Um,
Hate sidearms.
I was thinking, I was like, you think about this aesthetic and you think about what Destiny 1 brought with this aesthetic as well, too. Like, imagine if they would have brought, and I hate even like suggesting fucking reprised weapons, but damn it, would not have been cool to see a lot of those Iron Banner weapons from that same aesthetic, like the Clever Dragon.
Oh yeah, dude. I would love people
And
lose their
that,
mind if that happened.
oh my God, imagine how fun and how cool that would have been. Like, give PvP people a reason to go and get a really
Well, like
nostalgic weapon.
if they're not gonna make good new weapons, just give us good ones that aren't in the game anymore then. Like
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
that's
like,
better than a piece of crap weapon you're not gonna use.
those weapons were like iconic in Destiny 1. Like
I loved Clever Dragon,
those
bro. I
those
lived
Iron
on that
Banner
gun.
weapons that like looked like they were kind of the Viking feel. That kind of what I'm getting from this aesthetic is that old, Iron Wolf, and fiery, snowy look. And damn it, that would have been perfect. And then also those like ornaments from the weapon from the Iron Wolf set where it had like whenever you turned it on, it had the fire and like the wolf and like all your cosmetics. Damn it! Why not bring that back if you go flawless or something? Like, imagine how cool that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could
I,
do a lot. They could do a lot. And I think people wouldn't even care. Like I know some people get like they complain a lot about the reprised loot, but I think if you give new loot and you're just like, "Hey, here's bonus." Everybody's happy,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
like
what
New
else
give
to
the
do.
things
loot that's
with
in the
free
pool.
reprise things.
Yeah, dude, give the new loot with prize mixed
Yeah.
in,
Yes,
like an
yes. Because then
add-on.
it seems like it's more with a sense of new, little slap of like, old paint on it as well too, but also like, you have a little new coat of primer on it as well, just in a
Yeah.
sense of theories here. I really think that, and that's something I feel like they've also done in the past as well too, where like, hey, we're bringing back this one. I mean, Dragon's Breath came back, like I was thinking they were that was on the final shape um
Reveal.
trailer
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we weren't thinking we were getting something like that to come back so quickly. I mean,
It
I
was
just
super hard to get too. You had to get to level 1 on your season pass.
yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
that was
like
pretty hard,
look,
yeah.
I ain't even done that shit yet, to be honest. Oh goodness. Let's quickly go into our new segments here. We
Hey,
have
before we start, let
let's
me
hear it.
tell you the coolest thing that they added this season,
Let's hear it.
that you can go to the vault in orbit.
Oh yeah, there's and then the whole fire team finder as well too. Have you tried
That
that
was
at all?
only in beta for like 1 day or something.
Oh, it
It's
hasn't
not
been a thing?
available anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Scratch that.
Yeah,
No,
the
I
vault's
haven't
dope, but like we have dim too. So I don't unless they
yeah.
implemented all the stuff that dim has, like why am I gonna use the vault? And you can't even you have to be in orbit to use it. There's like a glitch workaround thing to do it, but like I'm not gonna pull my vault up and click like 18 times to tab over through my vault. I'm just gonna go to dim, search what I want,
I guess it'd be better
pull
for
it.
console people. I guess that helps
I
for console
agree,
folks.
but
Yeah,
like
okay, that's
98
fair.
that's like probably like 90% of Destiny people probably have no clue what dim is if we're talking like
Yeah, that's
the
fair.
I mean, that's
console
true.
people.
I'm really curious what like percentile
I
dim
just thought
gets
it was
used.
a nice like to see them actually add something. Like I was like, "Oh, they can actually do that? Okay, cool." Because it sounded like they couldn't figure it out for the last, 10
Yeah.
years.
That feels like something that's could have been implemented, many years ago. So
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna do something a little bit interesting here, where we're gonna compare a few things. So as I've kind of briefly mentioned, we've only had one other season that has been similar to what we have in this circumstance, where we have a season where the DLC has been moved back a significant amount of 3 months on top of what our seasonal thing was already being 3 months. So now we have a 6 to 7 month season. The only other time that's happened is Season of Arrivals, where some people say that Season of Arrivals is one of the better seasons that we've had in Destiny 2. And thinking, I can't even really think back that far to even know what the hell was going on back then.
Or I don't even know. Like you'd have to like
Was
read
it Season of the
something to tell
Lost
me.
though? Or was it Arrivals?
It was Arrivals.
Arrivals
Arrivals
was like
was
8
6
the one
months,
where we
months?
right?
had the tree in the middle, where Eris Morn was. Uh,
It led up to Beyond Light, right?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking the
Um,
one going into Witch Queen with like the 30th anniversary because that was like 6 months too, right?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, I would count season or that
I guess two
as
seasons.
something. Would you not? I feel like I would count
Yeah,
that
I
as
guess.
like a
Yeah.
content drop. I mean, they brought us a whole new activity, dares, a
And
couple
a dungeon,
new.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't it bring
Galleys,
us
dungeon. Yeah.
grasp? Like that's a whole
Grasp, yeah.
new.
Yeah, that's
That's
fair.
a whole
Yeah.
bit of content right there. So Season of Arrivals brought us the interference missions and the contact public events where they had the pyramid ships and everything. It also brought us prophecy. Prophecy was a part of that, where that randomly loaded in. It brought us Wither Horde.
Witherhoard came in Arrivals?
That's what I'm looking at.
That's with falling guillotine too, no? The spinny purple sword, I'm assuming.
I believe so.
That
Yeah,
was from
I
that. Okay.
love Fall
yeah.
Hunt.
The
Sick.
season pass
It
was
really? Dude, it's
the.
been that long since
Is this the same?
I'm
Let's
looking
see. Is
this up
this the
too.
same? God, they had moments of triumphs and solstices of heroes in this one season of Arrivals. Uh, exotic mission. Here we go. Contact events, moments of triumph, solstice of heroes, festival of the lost. Oh my god, they had 3 different like seasonal activities in this one season. I didn't even know about this. Holy shit. This is whenever the void trace rifle effigy, ruinous effigy,
Okay.
was brought in. So I believe this is not the one with bunkers. I don't believe this is the one with bunkers. No.
This had Contact.
Contact, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's like the
where
speed of
you
light or something.
where you had to get yeah, it was with the blights and everything like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it was.
Prophecy.
So think about
Gosh,
what that
Witherhoard is
brought
like
us.
my favorite gun in Destiny. I didn't realize
Yeah,
that came
and
out
it
during
came with
Arrivals.
Season of Arrivals, believe it or not. So we got some really great things with Season of Arrival. There's stuff that's still used to this day. Now compared to now, of course, we're a week into Season of the Wish. Obviously, we don't know what's gonna be, so far, but we have stuff that has already been here. So think about like in comparison of Season of the Wish, Season of Rivals, or even just compared to other seasons as well too that we've had in the past of well, kind of where you would place it, maybe in like a tier list or in a ranking compared to others. And just kind of let's talk about like what the season has brought so far and just the longevity. Do we think this is going to be something that is going to be eligible for, keep your attention for 6 whole goddamn months? What do we thought?
What do
Yeah, well, I mean,
What do we thought?
I
what do we
think
thought?
God damn it. Shut up.
I think looking back to our rivals, I don't remember the specifics of it, but I never remember being like that bored. Like I like that meta. I remember going into I'm assuming it was going into Beyond Light. I believe that's
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
So I was hyped for when that came out. I think really Destiny over time has kind of proved no hate towards it that it's just like the game can't really sustain and make people entertained through its content. So I think for me, if the season's going to be good, it's going to be what you make of it in the meantime,
Yeah.
because I remember that season being long. I remember the season leading into I think Witch Queen being long, and just the season was what you made it. Gaming with friends, doing raids, catching up, other activities, So
You're so right because Destiny content, I, it's not built to like realistically, you do the thing, and once you've done it like 10 times, it's not really that much fun to do like the actual piece of content. It's more about like the experience you make of it. If it's like,
yeah,
especially with you're being doing you guys doing your GOS like speeds things like that's not
yeah,
fun. Like, but you're making it fun because you're doing the
yeah.
speed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Running Garden 4 years after it came out is not. It's not like, oh, dude, I love Garden. But yeah, going for a challenge, pushing yourself, seeing what you guys, the times you can get, or even if it's not that, like we just, I started a new series on YouTube where we're going through and doing all the raids with like starting with white gear. It's just fun to just mess around with your friends, have a good time gaming, creating your own challenges, stuff like that. So
I like that take because usually everybody else just expects like this crazy thing to happen where everyone's like it like you know what I mean? Like it's just
give us infinite content type
video
thing.
games aren't ever gonna be that. Like
Yeah.
there's only so many resources like these developers can make and they're doing like truthfully if we look back like we have a lot of stuff to play every season, right? And I can see it better now that I don't have as much time to play. Like when I get on and play, like I got plenty of stuff to do. Like, and that's not all like breathtaking because it's Destiny. We've been playing the same crap for 10 years. But when you're playing at your home, like we're about to do some stuff after this. Like I'm very excited about that just because it's with you guys and we'll probably laugh
Right.
and have fun
Yeah.
doing it. When I play by myself, not as much fun, but uh I'm with you. What was the question again, Sam, about the like
Just comparing what we think Season of Wish is going to be compared to what a 6 month season has already been for us. Like, do we think there's going
I
to be
think it's
longevity
okay.
with this season? Because
I
I'm
think
looking at I mean, I'm obviously we haven't seen the full season yet. It's the first week, but looking at what I just looked at the Bungie.net site, and there ain't a goddamn thing to be excited about. There's an exotic bow coming out and stuff like
no.
that. Like all the content's already been released in the first week,
No, I
in
think
my
we're
opinion.
screwed.
Like, what are we gonna do for the next 6 months?
I think we're screwed, and I only think that because of there's it's just kinda like what you just said. We're kind of in this place where you have to make it what you want, and a lot of the stuff that's come before, some of the best banger stuff's already come out, and I
Yeah,
don't feel like it's easy to continue to make banger content like, banger weapons every single time, even though I'm overacting like they should be making crazy weapons every single time.
yeah. There's an
Like,
exotic bow. I did just see there's some exotic
just like,
strand bow
who
that's coming
cares?
out. So, yeah,
Like, Sammy will be the only one that wants that.
yeah,
Everybody else won't care.
yeah.
But I like Witherhoard, like, I'm thinking about back to Arrivals, and they
Mhm.
get Falling Guillotine was, like, meta. Witherhoard was meta. Like there was just stuff that came out that was
Mhm.
fun to use. I think that they're gonna find a way to sprinkle in some more fun within the next 7 months because I don't think that they had planned originally to make this season this long. So I think they're probably like,
Hey, dude, they have to have something up their sleeve.
eh,
This is the worst time, and mark my motherfucking words, this is the worst time for them to have a 6-month season after everything that's gone on with that Destiny community recently. You're telling me that 3 months from now, when people are already yearning for new content, that they have to wait another 3 months for something new?
and
Some
they're
of the
gonna get
biggest
some.
content to ever come out for this game?
Yeah,
Hell no, dude. Half the damn population is already gone after the dungeon's been released.
yeah, I know. I don't know, dude. I think that just stuff we don't know what's going on in there because we're not working at Bungie. But from the outside looking, like from the outside looking in, it looks like Sony laid into them with like the money that they weren't making, and they had plans set in stone. Like this whole thing where they're like, we're gonna release the game now in June because we want to make it better. Well, you were about to release it in February. Like, so obviously you already thought it was good enough, and then you saw the number. Like, just something happened where like I don't buy this whole like we just wanted to make it better. Like you already have the thing built. Like what are you going to do to make it that much better? So now we have 6 or 7 months to like sit on stuff that you're then also going to go back and like try to figure out as fast as you. I just think there's just stuff going on there that they don't have control of right now that
Mhm.
I don't blame them for. I'm not mad at them for it. Actually, it probably sucks to be there right now to be honest. And they're going to try their best to do something in these next 7 months, but I have my expectations set really low just cuz I think
Oh,
from the
absolutely.
business side of things they're just going through it and trying to figure stuff out on the fly. So I'm not like expecting literally anything. I'm actually cool with there not being that
Yeah.
much content because I can go play other stuff I want to play leading up to Lightfall.
Mhm.
Or what are you gonna say, G? I know I saw you looking like you were gonna say something.
No, it's there's a bunch I was gonna say. There's so many thoughts when it comes to like a long season, but that's at least from what you're saying, like with their development cycle, I don't disagree. Like there's no way they were gonna release it in February. Because if they were gonna release it in February, that's 3 months away. That DLC is already developed, like probably to the 80th percentile. Maybe they're touching it up. If you're gonna say, okay, give us another, what is it, 4 months probably past that date. So now it's in June. It's really only 3 additional months, I guess, because it would have been end of February. Now it's beginning of June. So in those 3 months of additional time, if something's already pretty polished and like well wrapped, well put together, I don't think you can really crack it open and add that much more to it. You know what I mean? I think if you really wanted to make that big of an impact, it would have had to have happened from the launch of the DLC, right? Like
I
from
agree.
where, if that makes sense, you can tack on some stuff to it, but you can't completely redesign it to make it game breaking at this point. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I guess in that 3 month cycle, they could develop an entire like extra dungeon or something to release with it, or maybe an exotic mission or two. So I could be wrong, but I don't think it would.
Dude,
Those,
I'm
like
with
you
you.
said,
It's not like it's like with Rockstar. Like we are talking about GTA 6. It takes them like 15 years to make a game, like
yeah,
baller. So like I don't think 4 extra months is gonna be like, oh dude,
yeah,
it's gonna be a different game. It's gonna be insane. Like there's no
yeah,
way.
no,
Like they have fired half their people like a couple weeks ago. Like I don't know what are they gonna do? You know what I mean? Um
yeah.
maybe it's gonna be helpful. Maybe they're gonna implement all the stuff and I don't know. I don't have any of my hopes up. I'm just happy
I-
that we have a game that we can play. Like I'm cool
Mhm.
with it. I'm not over here super upset. Like truthfully,
yeah,
in this season of my life, the less stuff that I have to worry about, like making sure I'm on top of, the better. Like I have tons of games
yeah,
in my backlog I'd love to get my hands on. Um, but for my friends like you and content creators that like do this for a living and need content to make videos, it sucks. Like I wish that there was more stuff coming.
yeah. I wish there was more. And the thing that irks me is like, dude, if you put me in if you lock me in a room for a day, I could design like 20 seasons worth of content. I think like just ideas off the top of my head. Like something I've always said is how, like you can see the influx of players when something breaks. Like when we had the crafting happen, everybody was online. You know, you can just force that stuff into the game for a week to spice up your game. You know, you could add better content that would, make the season, even though, like I said, the game is what you make it, you could still add content that would be more enjoyable and give people more opportunities to take it and do what they want with it. Um, and stuff like that. So yeah, I wish I saw them innovating more and doing just more unique things, but it seems like they play every season pretty close to the books, do the same thing, and then maybe try something different for the massive DLCs, you know.
Yep.
But
Yeah, you pretty much
I'd
get what you know you're gonna get in seasons. Like it
I'd like to see them. I know you guys saw the whole like beginner or new light bundle that they tried to sell.
yeah,
Um,
people were mad
absolutely
about that, bro.
fucking insane, dude. Like
I might be the only person that did not give a freaking crap.
I don't
Like,
I mean
who
I genuinely
cares?
don't care, but goddamn, dude, $15 for something like that. Like that's like literally like 15 minutes worth of gameplay.
Yeah.
You know, in a sense, like
it
There
looks
that's
yummy.
it's insane.
Yeah,
You're one little thing where you can just add stuff in. Imagine a weekend where you just get double loot on every single activity in the game.
like a double
Coil,
XP
double loot.
weekend, but
Trials, double
Destiny
loot.
terms, yeah.
Nightfall, double loot. Why are we not doing more shit like that? That would get me in Nightfalls if I can go get double whatever's coming in. Or if like double. I mean, I've never got a good mind benders. Double mind benders for the week. I grind every double loot that's in GMs. I at least do a few of them to get something, you know, because it's worth my time. Double trials loot. Imagine going flawless for the first time in the weekend and you get double the GLs that you've been trying to go for. I mean, and then you get double loot whenever something drops after you go flawless or like after you continue your card. Coil, it's already loot, you know, abundant. Why not make it double? I mean, holy shit! Like, there's so many things that they could do to spice up like every single weekend because it's gonna be a long season. I just don't think that back to just the whole comparison thing. I don't think that this is going to live up to Arrivals. I think this is going to be an absolute piss poor season when it comes to you know, longevity. I think it's going to just go into the ground. I mean, awfully. And I hate to say that. I'm usually pretty optimistic when it comes to you know, Destiny content in general. But man, I just have no faith that this season is going to be anything like unless they unless they come out and say some shit like, "Hey, Garden's now farmable." I'm fucking in that bitch. Okay, I am there.
That
All
should have been
right.
done off rip though. You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Like
think
that should
so.
just
No,
be.
a lot of
You
people
don't
made that
think?
point. A lot of people made that point. Like that's a little that's something in their back pocket. You know, like they have raids that
It's a
they can
dumb
make.
thing to have in the back pocket. Here, go do an old raid to get
It's
weapons that aren't that
something.
good.
It's
But
something.
we did we not used to get that like every reprise or
Yeah,
every dungeon season? I
we
thought
did.
that's what they were
Yeah,
doing
I
for
think
like
that's one
Last
reason
Wish
why
and
it because
DSC,
there
and
was
then
people said that's been hinted at in the past where Garden's going to become farmable in the future, and like because they have to. There's no way they don't just leave that raid out. They've made
yeah,
it. They've done it for Last Wish. Every other raid is farmable and
Somebody must
craftable
have forgot
weapons.
to press the button.
They better not. I need my crafted ancient gospel, man. I'm yearning for that shit. So I think that's something that like that's like the type of stuff that I think they'll add in slowly. Like, hey guys,
sure,
Garden's now a reprised raid where it's weekly farmable. I guess there's no master version like for the reprised raids,
yeah,
um, but just in general, like that's something that like, hey, it hasn't been done yet. But if you want a crafted so and so, then now's the time to go get it, and you can farm it whenever it comes out. I'm assuming people would love that. I mean, I got a good sense of from the community from my tweet about it that people are looking forward to it and you know hoping and I was kind of coping that it might be the new season but it turned out it wasn't and but little things like that like where stuff can happen in the game that follows their content loop that just hasn't been done yet. I feel like that this may be the perfect time to implement those little things like that. Then we're talking about you know season of arrivals esque season, so I'd be curious to see you know, if anything comes out, even in just like on their Twitter, because they've been a lot more vocal. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Like, and there've been a lot of backlash from the
I
previous people that
haven't,
work
dude. I
there.
don't follow any Destiny
I
stuff
don't
on
follow them
Twitter.
either, but people pointing it out, like people like official Bungie reps and stuff like that, like actually using their own account to tweet back at people, like whether it's in a foolish you know, way, like just going along with their memes, or if it's like confirming things or like, hey, so and so, this is actually how it's gonna be, or something. Like there's been a lot more of that. And then people, the previous community managers I've been seeing, like, yeah, we didn't get to do this whenever I was
yeah.
employed. We were told to shut up, you know. So, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not optimistic. This is the one time where I feel like I'm not as optimistic as normal.
I don't think any of us are.
I'm never
G's
optimistic,
optimistic
but
that he'll have fun with his friends, but
yeah.
Right.
I'm not planning. I'm having a kid during this season, so I'm actually so happy because it was gonna launch the day after my kid's born.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wouldn't have played it, so I can play it in June. That'd be much
Hell yeah.
better.
Love that.
So screw
Awesome.
all you guys.
Yeah.
Worked out
Fuck
for
us.
me.
No, I'm happy with the
Bullshit-ass
delay too,
kid.
dude. Skiing season can go longer. I was
There you
kind of
go.
like, I'll take it.
Oh, whatever works. All right, we're time for our lovely little game we got planned for tonight. So we'll kick
Do
it
it.
into high gear and get started here so we can get our little content afterwards taken care of. So this is blind ranking the best seasonal activities. So we've been talking a lot about seasons. We've been
They're
talking a lot about the
all
activities.
last place. We're done.
Yes, they all suck. All right, well there we go. We'll move on.
Just kidding.
So blind ranking seasonal activities from Destiny 2. Are you ready? You guys have 5 spots. I'm going to randomly give you 5 of seasonal activities. I already have in my brain. You're not going to know what's coming next, and you have to rank them 1 through 5. Okay, be careful because if you fuck up, you're putting some bullshit at number 1. All right. So
We
Luke,
each get
you are
5, or we have to make the list with only 5 between the two of us.
no.
think we
You guys
alternate,
each have
right?
your own list.
Okay.
Oh,
You guys each only have your own list, or unless you want to do it together, that's fine too. We can do like 7 if we want to do it together.
Let's do
Thoughts?
it separate. I'm fine with that. I just
Okay,
we
want
can do
to
separate,
know.
that's
separate
fine.
ratings. All right, here we go. The first one is going to be overrides from Season of the Splicer. Where would you rank that 1 through 5?
Me
careful.
first? Or
Whoever.
Luke?
I don't even remember what that is.
Dude, I remember Override. That was, I think, this isn't probably true, but it was like one of the first like half decent 6-man activities I remember. That was like of the format that it's been for like the last few years. I'm gonna put that at number 3. I think it's a
Number 3?
good mid. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get this typed out here. So G1, 2,
Why is
3.
doing that? G, explain to me how the activity worked again. Was it like with the things you dunked stuff in?
Dude, there's
It was
so many
the
dunking things.
Vex
Yeah, it was a
world
Vex
where
Spire, and you got sucked like into a hole at like you would like kill stuff. Eventually, like the spire, you'd like climb the spire, it'd like go into the ground, you'd get sucked into the hole, and then do a boss fight. And it was like a 6-man activity.
Oh, I know this one. Yeah, I remember.
You know
this
what I'm
one.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah. I'll give my answer then because
all right.
obviously it's so good that I just forgot like what it was. So
Right,
I'm gonna put it at number 4 just because I don't
Number
want to go
4,
straight
okay.
to my number 5 yet.
Okay, so you don't want to put that.
I want to save my number 5 for something real bad.
Okay. All right. So G, you put that at 3. Luke put it at 4. All right. The next one is going to be, let's see here. I'm going to go with Sundial. Where are you going to put Sundial?
Or I remember that one.
Dude, I'm throwing that at number 5. I remember that being trash. I didn't play it that much though. It was Season of the Dawn, I'm pretty sure, aka Season of the Yawn.
No shot, bro. That's one of my favorite seasons ever.
Is
You're
I didn't play that much though.
right
I didn't
now.
play that much though. I'm putting it 5.
5. Okay.
I'll put it 3 because it's mid.
3. Okay.
Did you hear that? I sound like a youngster. It's mid.
You're so young. All right. So you put that at 5. Luke put it at 3. Okay. I'm gonna go with a pretty obvious one here. Let's go Menagerie. Where you put Menagerie?
All right, this is gonna be a hot take because I think a lot of people would throw this at number 1, but I'm saving out for a different activity. I'm gonna put Menagerie's great. I'm gonna throw it at number 2. I thought it was a solid activity. But I think there was like cheeses that made it quicker and better. I think if you're running around with 6 people and they sucked, like any 6-man activity, it's gonna feel terrible.
Okay. Where are you putting Menagerie, Mr. Luke?
I didn't actually think it was ever fun. I just did it that one time for hours because I had to. What do I have so far?
So you have Sundial at 3 and Overrides at 4.
So I guess 2. I mean, I don't
2.
want to put
Okay.
5. It's not
Wow.
that
You guys are
bad.
really holding out.
I don't actually even know what my 1 would be because, like, if you guys know anything about me, I hate seasonal activities. I think they all suck.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
they're
So
all
you guys both
forgettable.
put Menagerie at 2. So y'all holding out number 1.
Yes.
Luke already has, or you already put Sundial at 4 or at 5. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and give you a an interesting here one. I'm curious where you guys might put this one. Forges.
Oh,
Where are we
I'm,
putting Forges?
I'm glad you gave us that one.
What did I put as 3, dude? I'm trying to see if this is gonna be accurate. Oh, dude. All right, I'll put. I have to throw Forges at 4. But yeah, I thought
Okay.
Forges were solid though. I liked Forges. I thought they were cool enough.
Mr. Luke, where are we putting
Bro,
Forges?
Forges are my favorite.
1 or
They're
5?
number one, baby. I love Forges. The loot's amazing. Bro, I loved Black Armory. That was such
All right,
a
I'll
fun
make this one
time.
easy for you guys. Let's do the newest one, Coil.
Yeah, see, that's what I was hoping.
That's what you're
We're
hoping
holding out for.
I figured.
Yeah, I personally think it's the best one they've ever made, just because of the difficulty scaling. I think it would it'd be so hard to argue against it if it was infinite for me.
Okay.
But I still think I also like 3-man versus 6-man a bit more. You know, if I have 6 of my
Gotcha.
friends online, I'm raiding 3 people, casual gaming. It's fun enough.
Cool. So Luke, since your last one was 5, that's where you're putting Coil, unfortunately. So
I never done it, so that's fine.
I guess that makes
Yeah,
sense, to be honest.
That's fair.
You guys actually had a pretty decent list. Like, I feel like where would you change anything based off the list that you guys made? Like, would you put Sundial over
Forges
something,
3.
or you
No,
put
I'd
Sundial?
swap Forges and Override. That's what I'd swap.
Really?
Forges 3.
Oh, okay. Put Forges at
Override
3. Okay.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys didn't. It wasn't too
Mine's
bad. Then. Not
exactly
bad,
what
not
I would
bad.
have done. Like genuinely, Forges, Menagerie,
That's good.
Sundial, because I
Yeah.
like the older seasonal, because Forges and Menagerie weren't like the real seasonal activities like they are now. That was before they like switched it. Sundial
fair,
was like the first time that they like really, because Sundial was right after Menagerie, I'm pretty sure, and it was like the first time they like
think so.
switched things up, and it started sucking at that point. So
Yeah.
I like the way
So-
that I put mine.
Real quick, I want to share with you guys where I got this. So this list, or you guys made your own list, but where I got these from was one of Paul Tassie's Forbes articles where he actually ranked these best stores. Unfortunately, this is a very old article. He had Menagerie at 1, he had Sundial at 2, Battlegrounds at 3. That's where I'm like,
That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life.
he had Forges at 4, the Shattered Realms he had at 5. That's from Season of the Lost. He had Contact, Season Rivals at 6, Astral Alignment at 7. I don't agree with that whatsoever. That was fucking awful, to be honest. He had Expunge. So he was counting like the seasonal, the weekly missions and stuff like that. Expunge at 8, Overrides at 9, and he had Vex Offensive at 10. Here's what pisses me off. He put the Reckoning in there as the worst one at 13. That is some bullshit, because Reckoning was
amazing.
fucking
It
great.
was solid.
It was amazing. It had actual loot. It had actual armor sets that did specific things for you. That dude's. I wouldn't listen to anything Paul Tassi
No.
said.
And I'm curious where he would rank a lot of the stuff now. I kind of almost wanted to do our own rankings, like just straight up
apparently
our
just
own
likes
rankings.
to do long activities that aren't fun.
Yeah.
According to that, I want to play this activity for 20 minutes straight, please.
Yes, please. I actually don't want to
He's
be
a dad
efficient
gamer.
at all with anything that I'm doing in a video game.
I want it to take 2 full months to get a seal done. That is very easy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so G, you put Coil at 1, Menagerie at 2, Overrides at 3, Forges at 4, Sundial at 5. We have some folks saying Sundial at 5 is criminal. I will agree at that as well too. I can't believe
Tanner
you
doesn't
said
get
that.
it. Tanner
Can't
doesn't
believe you
get
didn't say that. It's wild. Forges at 1 for Luke, Menagerie at 2. I would switch those. Of course, I'm a Menagerie slut. I love that one so bad. I think the loot was fantastic. The fact that it was farmable, like you could do it all day, every day, and you could choose what you got at the end was fantastic. Sundial was good. I was a fan of Overrides, and then I haven't had a chance to do Coils, so I guess that makes sense why Luke
All right,
would have it
what's
at 5.
next? Give us another 5.
No
Let's do weapons.
weapons. Say that for another podcast.
Nah, that only took like 10
You want
minutes.
to do it? We can do another 5 if you
Just
want.
do 5 more real fast.
Okay. Let's see.
Dude, 5 weapons. Dude,
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane.
Ranking 5 weapons.
I feel like that's
You want to do
good.
exotics? Let's just do exotics.
Yeah, 5 exotics.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. Fuck me. Now I was not prepared for this.
That's
don't
easier.
care.
You could have just named legendaries I've never heard of before. I was just throwing it bottom of the list. There's so much loot.
Okay, let me get this here.
This
Oh, I'm
is
gonna
gonna be
fuck
good,
you
I'm
guys
telling you.
up. Hang on.
I know, that's why I need this. That wasn't long enough, those 5. I'm fiending for 5 more.
Monte Carlo number
This is what the
Blind
peop
ranking
this is what the
exotic
this is what the people want. They wanna know this
weapons.
because when we're on TikTok later next
This is
week,
TikTok content here, ladies and gentlemen.
whenever we're on TikTok next week talking about this stuff, there's gonna be 700 kids giving us their opinions,
They're
and
gonna
we
be saying
want to
exactly
hear
what
them.
chat said. Sundial at 5 is criminal. How fucking dare you?
They're gonna be
defended till I die.
they're gonna be DMing G with,
Oh,
like,
God.
threats. You're gonna have to be
Okay.
careful, okay?
Now, my dumbass has to pull up exotic weapons because there's so
You're
many.
good. Dude, this is gonna be hard because you're gonna name some stuff, and then if we get to like 4 or 5, we have like the top slots left, and you just name something ass. You throw Rat King down. Dude, it's over.
Hey, it's good if there's 6 of us.
All right, here we go. And think about like the overall use. Don't think about just PvP. Don't think about just PvE. Think about overall
Okay.
overall use. Let's start here. Let's start with something interesting. Let's go Forerunner. Where would you put Forerunner?
I'll go
Luke, you
first.
start.
Number 5. I hate that gun.
Okay, damn. All right. Forerunner putting it at number 5. So that's the worst. Careful.
Sheesh.
Careful giving up
Dude,
that last spot.
Okay, I don't know enough about
Confident.
Forerunner in PvP. Is it good in PvP at all or no? Like, are some people
Pretty
cheeky with
decent.
it?
It's honestly no. People run Forerunner
Okay.
a lot.
People that know how to use it are real good with it.
It's used in like some solo Root of Nightmares for some reason. I think maybe against Nezrak or whatever. So I'll put it number 4. I think it's a safer. It's like somewhat useful. I feel like you're gonna give us a piece of trash exotic.
You're putting Forerunner at 4. Damn, y'all have no faith in Forerunner.
I'll put it.
Isn't it pretty good in PvE? Like people use it for like when it was anti-barrier. Am I wrong?
I've
I
never
mean, it's
used it
anti-barrier
for
now.
anything.
I don't even know if it's intrinsic. I don't know.
I use it for nothing because it sucks.
All right. All right. So Luke, G put it at 4 and put it at 5. All right. Damn. Okay. Let's see. Let's go. I'm gonna hit you guys with something interesting here. Let's go. There's a lot of fucking exotics in this video game, by the way.
I
Let's
know.
go Graviton Lance. Where are we putting Graviton Lance here? And don't you dare
Ooh.
don't put me down on this one. Don't put me down on Graviton Lance now. Come on.
I'll put it right in the middle at 3.
You're going 3, okay.
I loved it when D1 came out or D2 came out because there was nothing good in the game, and this gun was very interesting to use.
It was pretty interesting. It was like
It was pretty good in PvP at the beginning.
Wasn't it like
too.
the first 2 bursts like that I think they've had? Like that was something interesting for Destiny 2 when it first came out. So gee, don't do me bad here.
No, I'm gonna go 3 as well. I
going
wouldn't.
3?
I think
Okay.
it's better than Forerunner overall. Use it in some good void builds, champion mods if you want, exotic. So it's good.
And didn't they buff it? They buffed the whole explosions as well too. Am I wrong?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, you guys aren't disappointing me just yet. Not yet. There's a lot here though. Holy shit. Oh, okay. Okay. I saw the number and it's also incorporating exotic armor. So I was like, holy shit, there's over 1,000 weapons. There's no way. Let me hit you with a little tractor cannon. Where are we gonna put tractor cannon here, boys? Where are we putting tractor cannon? Is that a good PvE weapon? Where are we at?
That's a very good PvE weapon. Yeah.
Who's got tractor?
It's like one of the best.
Who's gonna run tractor? Think about it.
You going, Luke?
I want you to go first this time.
Tell me it's not one of the funniest things to do in PvP though, when you have a tractor cannon and someone thinks they got the edge on you and just go woof, woof, and they just go fucking flying.
Oh,
I'd love that shit.
I think a safe bet. I'm just gonna throw out number 1. I think it's there's only there's okay. Hear me out.
I'm about to fuck you up.
Well, okay, dude, you can give me anything to make that not true. But I'm gonna throw out number 1 because there's three 30% debuff sources in the game. One is Tether, which is super short. Tractor is like one of the best, and the only other one is Fellwinter's Helm. So you have to finisher. So it's very weird.
No,
So
I respect it. I respect the. That's why we got you here. Luke, where are we putting tractor cannon, my brother?
I don't want to take my number 1 slot yet, so I'm gonna put it at number 2.
Damn, I did not think you guys were going to give tractor cannon the love.
It's a great support weapon. Like it's a cool and it's cool. Like there's nothing like it in Destiny. It just boops people. It boops stuff. Boop.
Is that what people call it? It's called the boop cannon, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Let me give you something little toxic here. Let's go a little toxic. How about where we putting Le Monarch? Little bow action. Where we putting Le Monarch at?
Ooh.
Did I get you? Did I stump you on that one?
That's a stumper. Yeah.
Are you telling me Le Monarch is better than Graviton Lance? Is that what you're telling me right now?
For
I'd put it.
PvP?
It's
Probably,
good in
right?
PvP.
I'm
I'm putting it at
just based
4.
off where you're ranking it, brother. That's all.
I'll put it at 4 because
Okay.
I just started using it in PvP and it's so toxic that I feel so bad using it that it's just got such a bad rep that I don't feel like it deserves anywhere other than
You still have
4.
a 5 position, Mr. G. 5 is still
Dude,
available.
you're doing me so dirty. I'm throwing it number 2. I think it's good in PvE. I think it's good in PvP. I'm gonna throw it number 2, and it did. So be it, you know. So be it. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Oh, boys. All right.
We'll see what
So
happens.
Luke still has his number 1 spot. Do we?
Yeah, I haven't
You
picked
still have your
number 1.
number one spot. And okay,
I
so
have number 5.
here we go, boys. Let's see. Where are we
gosh.
putting where are we, let's go something new here. We just got this weapon in the season pass. Where are we putting Dragon's Breath?
That's bullcrap. I guess 1, but it sucks, bro. It's the worst gun ever.
It's not that bad.
Where are
It's
we
not,
putting Dragon's Breath here, brother?
It's not that bad, but I'm happy with it at 5 compared to having it at 1.
I should have saved 1. I shouldn't have saved 1. That was stupid. You should have said Icebreaker
Not a Destiny 2.
It's a D1,
or Bad
yeah.
Juju.
It's not a
I love
Destiny 2.
Bad Juju.
That's
I
I
didn't
would
say
have thrown
Destiny
Bad
2
Juju at
weapon.
5 happily.
I said exotic weapons, not Destiny 2 exotic weapons.
Got his ass. All right, so Luke thinks that Dragon's Breath is the greatest exotic in the video
Clearly.
game.
Yep.
Bro, the internet's gonna kill me.
Oh,
I'm done
shoot.
for.
And then G, not a bad list, G. I'm not gonna lie. Where would you change anything based off your list here? Like truthfully, like in overall weapons, I feel like you did pretty damn good.
Yeah, I feel like I did pretty good. I might change stuff if it was PvE versus PvP, but I think like Dragon's Breath could be good in PvE with a catalyst. If you're using that in PvP, you're on amphetamines, you know? So I think it's pretty based. I think it's pretty based.
You might be on drugs. Who knows?
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
Under the
goodness.
influence of something.
All right, G. I think it's a good time. You had a good hot take of the week here. Let's wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us
little talk about what you came up, because you got one before the stream started.
Yeah.
And we told you to hold on to it. We wanted a clean, raw reaction to this absolute fuming hot take you got going on here. So go ahead and share with us, share with the class.
I don't know how hot it is. Well, actually, it's probably somewhat hot. I think the hot take is I don't think God roll weapons are really that important for most activities in D2. I don't think you actually need God rolls. I think you just need random ass weapons, and you can just do any content at all.
Okay. Elaborate a little bit more. Like, are we talking about so just base weapons are better off than just like,
yeah?
Or are you saying
think?
you could just do stuff faster with God roll weapons? Or are you saying you could do stuff the same speed with anything?
I'm more so saying, I guess you can do every activity in the entirety of the game probably pretty well. You probably wouldn't go get speedrun world records or get world's first or anything like that, but you could do easily every activity in the game, even probably day one raids with weapons that didn't even have probably perks on them. Maybe some damage perks might be needed, but I feel like a lot of people are always like stressing over what the best God roll is. And I think you can run into most raids in the game with all white gear. And if you're a good player, you just smoke it, you know. I don't think weapons.
I'll say something here. God roll is completely subjective as well too. I mean, it is based on my God roll for one hand cannon might be a different God roll for your hand cannon when it comes to just our style of play as well too. So God rolls are completely subjective. Their suggestions is what they are. Like, hey, if you want a more uptime on your so and so, then you want this world. If you want, if you want headstone, then for your stasis builds, and then you obviously want that perk compared to other things. I'm kind of with you on that. When it comes, like I just think everything in this game is easy to do. Like when it comes to weapons, and you had a hot take last time you were on where it's like builds don't really matter. I think you obviously meant builds regarding your weapons as well too aren't really as necessary. When it comes to that, I don't think that's hot at all. I love that. I think it's true. I think it's the truest shit anyone could ever possibly say, and I think people would it's kind of copium. Like, no, my
Yeah.
weapons matter.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
you have to have Izanagi's with the auto-loading rocket and an SMG with this and that. Like, no, you don't, dude. I'm completing everything you're completing with the same shit.
Yeah. I think you can smoke every single raid in the entire game, which we honestly just did like last season.
Mhm.
Unless it's the newest raid, which requires the most power, you can smoke every single raid boss without question with the Butler, which is a green rocket that you can pull from collections, and you can one phase like half of them. It's
Yeah.
Did you make a video on that yet? Because you should.
we're doing it in a series, so that's kind of where half the hot take came from, because we started with all white gear, and we're just like the goal was to make the challenge hard. We start with all white gear, and we can only use weapons that we earn. So obviously, if you won't, and when you go through each raid, and so you can only earn or use what drops. Of course, you're not getting any god rolls throughout that time.
Dude, that's
Each
kind of
raid
like
once,
when
and
you
it was
first
dope.
start playing. That's awesome. That's like
Yeah.
reminds me of D1 when we like didn't have anything and you just use and then you like at the beginning of a raid and you just use the weapon you got in the raid because you're pumped because you
Yeah.
got a new weapon. That's like
Mhm.
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
that.
Where it's higher
Yeah.
levels and you need that extra like 5 power or whatever that it gives you. Yeah, I remember. I actually this actually cracks me up because like I used to do raids back in Destiny 1 and I didn't have any loadouts, anything that had any sense whatsoever. I didn't have galley. I actually remember the first time I ever completed Crota, my dumbass was shooting a Suros regime because it was my most recent weapon and it was badass. And all I hear, I actually got bullied. All I hear over the chat is, who the hell is shooting a Suros? I'm like, oh, fuck. Probably that guy over there, bro. I don't know. Not me.
What's a Suros?
I immediately changed my weapon, bro. I was terrified. I thought I was going to get kicked. I was like, I'm not completing this with this damn Suros. I
Dude,
should probably do something else.
I used to main Suros regime because that was the first weapon I bought from Xur, and I always just wanted an exotic primary, so I always had an excuse to run the exotic. I mained that for like the first year of D1.
Oh, it was damn good. And I remember it was the
was
cream of the
good
crop when
originally,
it comes
but
to
now
Crucible
looking
for the
back-
longest time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is one of my biggest things, and it's not because I'm old. It's not because whatever. My least favorite thing about Destiny now is how like strategic, and some of this is your guys' fault. You just
Yeah, I think I know what you're gonna say.
is that like you need to have this build, you need to have this setup of weapons with these perks and these stupid like mods in order to do the thing. Like I liked it so much better when it was and I'm gonna get killed for this because I know a lot of people are different than me in gaming. A lot of people really like the complex nature of mods and stuff stacking and understanding all that. My brain just doesn't go there when I'm gaming. Like just give me the guns and let me go shoot the stuff. You know what I mean? Like tell me what I need to put on. Like sometimes I'm like about to go to a GM and I want to just do the GM. It's like, nah, Luke, can you make sure you put this on and this and this? It's like 15 minutes. Explain to me what the freaking do. I hate that. Like so much.
Now,
I miss Destiny when it was way more simple, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I will say maybe your builds aren't very important, but team chemistry is, and team composition is very important.
Fun. That's
are you gonna have a lot harder time running 3 shade binders in a GM over 3 well warlocks, or like having a well over nothing? Like, yes, obviously you're gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult. But is it impossible? No. That's the only thing where I feel is important when it comes to hard and semi-hard content is just who's going to be on this, who's going to be responsible for getting us heavy and stuff like that. Like that is where it becomes a little bit more important. Not so much like you don't necessarily need it, but it's helpful. If you're trying to mid-max and stuff like that, who's gonna be the div bitch? It's always me. I will succumb to being the div bitch. Okay, I don't care.
Yeah,
right?
I live in the middle too because I love, me, I love being efficient when I play games. I like to do stuff as efficiently as possible. So I want to understand the best way to do something with the best weapons.
Right.
But at the same time, like it's almost like it's surpassed my level of gaming to like understand, have to figure it. Part of it's because I don't sit on here and play it that much. So I don't have enough time to like understand what each mod is. And then they freaking change a lot of them every season. And then I'm like, all right, just learn what they did. Now I have to figure out what these new ones do, kind of deal. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way. I think that I probably am not. but I do know so many of my friends love it. So I like don't talk too much trash about it because I want people to have fun playing this game, right? Like that's important to me. But that just the way you're saying that, G, it's sweet because I do agree with you. I think that you can do anything in this game with anything, and that's the cool
Yeah.
part about Destiny. And that's like that is like the origin of Destiny. Like it was never built to only use specific weapons to do stuff. It was built to like they're not putting all these guns in the game for you to not be able to complete activities with them, right? There's just some that are like stronger than others or whatever if you want to call it that. But I like that
Yeah.
hot take.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's
That was a good one.
it's a big catch-22 too. Oh, that sounded weird. It's a big catch-22 also because like it kind of leads into what you said with the mods and everything and how optimized it is. Like with D1, it was honestly so much better of a looter shooter fun game to play because you were just hunting exotics like the entire time. Now a lot of people want to compete for world's first, speed runs, low mans, whatever, dungeon day ones. And if you don't have some of that stuff, you can't really compete. So now it's gotten to the point where, like, to keep it at a competitive level, they just have to make some of the loot super easy to earn, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
on one hand, that's good because now people are on even playing fields. On another hand, the game kind of sucks because it's not a fun looter shooter anymore, you know? So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. On the other hand, from talking here and someone here in chat as well too, talking about how like just making builds is fun. Do you necessarily need them? Absolutely not. But making them and seeing like the just the progress of like, oh my god, my grenade comes back so much faster now. Oh my god, my primary does so much more damage now whenever I throw my melee at and get a kill or something like that. That stuff is pretty damn fun to see. And of course, that's the whole uh, epitome of what Destiny becomes whenever you do optimize. But necessary? No. Fun? Absolutely. You
Yeah,
know?
I think that it's fun once you have the build. My
Mhm.
problem is I wish that I pressed a button and then it found all my like if I had all the stuff for that build, it would just do it for me
Yeah.
automatically. Like I
Yeah.
know that's not the case. I know that's part of the reason why people like building stuff. It's like creative, right? You're creating like
Mhm.
you're using it's a good way to keep people playing the game. It's just not my play style, so
Yeah.
I'm
That's
always
You
good.
just,
like
I'm pretty sure you could just have your friends send you like dim links. And then if you
I
just click that in
literally
dim,
use
I think it
your
works,
thing,
right?
G. You have like a bunch
Okay.
on this one website that I go to.
Oh,
It's
Mobilytics. Yeah, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
That's
how
pretty
I
funny.
do
Mobilytics
it.
is
I
cool.
literally
Okay,
go
okay,
to
yeah.
that I sit there for 15 minutes, moving all my
Yeah.
crap
Okay.
around and then save them. And I'm like, all right, cool. Thanks, G. Now I know how to
Massive.
get my solar grenade back every time I snap or whatever with my warlock.
Yeah. Some racers, man.
Oh
So
yeah. No,
thanks.
good take there, Mr. G. Good take.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
take. I love it. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I think we're gonna head out for now. We got some
Yeah,
planned things we're gonna do off stream. So you guys will see some kind of exclusive TikTok content here and on our YouTube. So
shorts.
if you guys made it to the end, we appreciate you. We don't have a guest for our next one just yet. We're working on something that is going to be pretty big
50,
for
baby.
our 50th episode.
We're gonna have 50 guests.
We're gonna have all 50 of the biggest streamers in Destiny 2 all here at the same time.
Is there even
Um,
50?
no, we're gonna be something.
Yeah, they're
We're gonna do
50
something
people.
on. It's pretty cool. It's gonna be something that I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy. And but if you guys would appreciate, of course, hitting that follow button. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. Thank you, G Miners, for joining us.
It's
If you
always
guys
good to chill with you.
don't know who he is, I believe all of his. You can find him by just typing his name, G Miners, and YouTube, uh, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, or X.com, whatever the hell it's called now.
Xanga, MySpace.
Yeah, and if you sub to his Twitch, you do get his OnlyFans link. I don't know if you guys were aware of that, but it's also on there as well too. So make sure you guys go sub to his Twitch.
A
If
lot
you
of feet
tier 3
pics.
sub, you get exclusive content to his OnlyFans. So
Yep. A lot of butthole action. A lot of people like that. So, you know, it's. I always live by the motto: give the people what they want. You know. So yeah.
oh my goodness. No, but G, once again, real quick, just let them know who you are, what you're where they can find you, and also if you're working on anything, you're a hardworking YouTuber. So if there's any project you'd like to, kind of give a little
Yeah.
sneak peek on, that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. G miners make YouTube videos for the most part. Stream on Twitch, usually like 5+ times a week. Really been getting into speed runs and doing speed running and stuff like that. So we're usually doing some end game content, and then really big like YouTube project wise, especially with the season being a lot slower, trying to shift away from as many guides and informational type content and builds, and we're putting out a video each week, usually in part with a series that's just entertaining. So We have the Zero to Hero series up on YouTube right now. The 5th episode should come out this Friday. So every Friday, new episode comes out, and yeah, just having fun, highlighting that and gaming.
It's awesome,
We
brother.
love that.
Yes, sir.
Sick, dude. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, all of the above. Like my boy Maddox said, next episode's 50. We're trying to plan something special for it, just to celebrate 50 episodes of the Destiny Nerds. It's pretty cool. We can't do this without you guys watching. So thanks for watching. Make sure to share the stuff, watch the stuff, like the stuff, comment on whatever. I don't know. Just
And
support us. It's
Thanks for all the love on TikTok recently as well too.
Yes.
We've increased like 200% over the last weekend. So
It's been a good TikTok week. We like
some
making
of you
those.
guys. I'd like to think that some of the folks we've had in our chat tonight are new from TikTok or from some type of social media. So we appreciate that, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to spread out our content for other folks to view, and of course bring you over here so you guys can chat with us as well too, because we like to talk with you guys while we're doing this. And you know, our one of our main goals as well too is to highlight someone like G Miners and our guests we bring on. We bring our guests on because we love them and we want our folks that follow us to also know them. And I mean, you know, we just try to give them clout. You know, like G is a really up and coming streamer, and you know,
nobody
so,
knows G, so we figure we bring him on.
right, right.
I love you guys too. Thank you.
Oh man! All right, we're gonna go do the dungeon for the first time. So if you guys follow us on our social medias, we're going to do the Warlord's Ruin Dungeon. G is gonna let us go through it blind for the first time. So if you guys follow us on our TikTok, you guys will see two dumbasses being pulled through a raid or a dungeon for the first time. So
it's gonna be great.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks for our 50th. Oh my God.
50th anniversary
50th
episode.
Wow.
It's our It's the 50th anniversary of the Destiny Nerds podcast.
Yes, we've been doing this for 50 years
50
now.
years. That's crazy.
G, thanks again, brother. We love you, and we'll see you guys on the
next time.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you guys next time. We love you. Adios.